Good morning, class. Welcome to Homeroom with Unc and Market Monk. Morning, P. How's your week?
It was good. It was good. I mean, just kind of winding down, for me. But just had caught a couple nice rallies. The crypto stuff's kind of funny. I'm just pretty much exactly what I said was you just kind of you get these bounces off. It was 250 with coin, and you just don't trust it. 258, and then I think it was 244 the next day. So you kind of pick one side there, I think, rather than just constantly trying to switch back and forth. But decent range, but still just nothing to really sustain any kind of move like that. So kind of scalp look for me mostly.
Yeah, kind of lucky the way my normal workflow in this time of year has always been, where you kind of like start to get into everything a little bit. Um, as a swing trader, and someone working with you, a lot of those positions have expanded
Yeah.
since there's this weird stuff I'm trading. First shout out though is all the A's. We talked about that a few weeks ago. I kind of dropped that as a little hint in this session, but man, A is $50 right now. P. I mean, in management, you put your stop loss in, and 3 or 4 days later in this market, you got to reassess it because it just grinds up. Um,
Yeah.
you know, either you sell into the fat green candle or you move your stop up. I guess that's my compromise with the rule, so to speak. The weed plays, sir. My goodness, just making the week over here on the weed plays. A little space picked up too. If you got in those entries when we talked about space, especially when we dropped which ones were the best of the list,
Yeah.
good there. Target's $100. That's about what I got.
Oh no. Yeah. No.
I mean, you just
Yeah.
got
It's
time is your friend over here. I mean, that's my skill. I think I got over most people is I can take time. Um, you all know I've pounded weekly and hour and day charts for years as opposed to minutes. It's that skill is winning right now. That's pretty much the difference for me.
Yeah, and a couple of conversations we had this time last week. One was on FedEx, and yeah, I thought the outlook looked pretty good for them. And then, but I said that kind of better the next day usually, and that played out because on a good report, down 4% to open the day. Not likely that's going to last. Yes, it just wasn't going to drop like 10%. It just wasn't. The probability wasn't there, and so so that was kind of a good scalp look. The overall market and SPY and the Qs particular, for me it looked pretty weak, and that kind of panned out. Had a couple bad days. We're still sort of in the 3-2 market, but you're just not going to gain and keep momentum in a lot of those big names. AVGO and Oracle kind of pouting after earnings, the AI trade, all that stuff. But you kind of reach a point where some of these, you can kind of just see the look, and they're oversold. NBIS was the one for me. I kind of thought low 80s on my read. It went below that, like $5 below that. So you just got to be, you know, mindful that it can do that. And I just talked shares only on that thing, and then it popped 14% on Friday, and it was a lot easier to manage that as a share trade than it was messing with options. The amount of time you'd need and the amount you'd spend on options on it, you might as well just get shares. So so that was one that did pretty well. And I don't know. Ever since we've been doing this, for the most part, when I go bearish on something, I'm still looking for um, opportunities. And the idea is always like it's just not really um, going to last. And I don't know on the data centers in particular. if you've seen the public sentiment on those being really negative, and then Oracle's credit issues, and OpenAI is the big punchline. Unfortunately, they're not traded, but they're the big punchline for memes. It's like, hey, give us $17 trillion and all your fresh water, and you'll get some AI slop in return or whatever. And but I still think like all those into next year and beyond, are there's going to be new iterations of that AI trade. I just think it's going to be kind of fragmented, and we already caught the nuclear part. I honestly think space is one for that, but I don't know what your thoughts are on sort of the AI space as some of these names pop back around. BBAI, for example.
To me, it's just another movie or story. I don't know really how to put it. It's another book written by the same author. I mean, we've had EV through the years, we've had crypto through the years, um, and AI is a pretty big thing. I mean, I'm not going to put it with the .com stuff, but it has the potential to be that. And um,
Yeah,
currently we're in a bull market. That sector in general had a pretty big bull run. And healthy bull markets, they take out their own trash. And if you understand that, you're going to understand there's going to be a moment where it's stress tested, where they do pull back, where they do get overvalued, etc., etc., etc. Personally, that's my style. When you're talking AI, I probably haven't been much into the AI names probably since the summer. Um, Trying to find the bottom of the queues maybe the last month, because the charts are so good. But you're going to see that rotation, and when they go from oversold to, or excuse me, when they go from overvalued to oversold. I mean, that's when you're going to take your advantage or take your opportunity. And a lot of those aren't going to be the same names like you're talking about. And we've seen that over and over again in sectors. Um,
yeah,
crypto currently is probably in a good spot. For me to back out of there, I mean, when you first started talking about the big names and stuff, I was like, yeah, no shit. We said at the beginning of the month we were going to rotate, and that's usually it. And that was followed up very clearly by get ready to trade stuff that you don't want to trade. And
yeah,
if you watch the talking heads on TV, they're all about undervalued in the Nasdaq and elements, the whole periodic table right now. And if for me, it's you have to understand what's tradable, when it's tradable, and go find something that's undervalued. It's a check for me no matter what, to trade things that are undervalued instead of catching those all-time high charts, or trying to play the momentum, which is possible. It's a style. It just doesn't work for me.
yeah,
You used to say all the time, "Well, they'll cost more tomorrow," and that did kind of help me a little bit with buying higher lows. But I still, if it's 5% a day or 10% a week, it's just hard to get on the train for me, in general. But the AI names, I think we're getting closer. I don't know when. The flow usually dictates that a little better than TA, unless you're just sitting on volume profile in the 200. What up, Oracle? But if
yeah,
you believe AI is it, you should be all in on Oracle. And I don't mean buying positions tomorrow and putting full positions in tomorrow, but on having an Oracle position, you should definitely that should be number one on your list because it's in a great spot. If the AI thing is real, that will come back just fine. So you look for opportunities like that. BBAI is a perfect one as well. Probably a chart to hard to value the company, getting the fundamental and the charts, kind of understanding where they are. But consolidation over enough time that chart's in a great shape for a move up. So yeah, there's names out there. There's probably three or four more that are in a decent spot. And again, I think that's healthy because again, the good bull market will just take out its own trash. So if there's anything in there, um, crypto, I could probably do a little better. Your SOSs and your EBONs are gone, and you're
yeah,
getting
yeah.
you're getting a little more substance there with from like Hut as being a data center and whatnot, and the BTDR one as well.
Uh, yes, and the that blockchain keyword, I'm still still kind of on that. So I mean the ones who the the practical utility of it and all that. The quantum breaking the Bitcoin code is the FUD that you're going to see keep popping up too. Um, So you got to be careful about that. But yeah, on the the AI, I mean, it's clearly transformative for the workplace for lots of people, and I don't really mean AI taking people's jobs. I mean that you have to you have to use this shit. It becomes not optional. I mean, even my wife's an academic advisor, and they've got um, well, not just like Copilot, but other like software that AI is being brought into what they do, and in student correspondence and like advising sheets and all that kind of stuff, and like my college hiring AI ethics coordinators or whatever. But you look at some of like the big workplace software, uh, Workday, Salesforce, all that stuff. I mean, there's an AI story there. A lot of those have been in some significant pullbacks. You can see the range above, and so you start to get kind of a mixed flow look that I think gets some clarity into next year. But there's one of many topics I think we can talk about on like our recap, and then look ahead into the next couple weeks.
Well, I think the AI in general, a lot of people overlook that it's already out there. You've been having it for years. I mean, you've gotten on a website of usually it's higher end or decent products, and or something expensive. Like last I was looking at golf carts. Get up on the EasyGo site, and it pops up instantly. Hi, how are you doing today? Right in the corner,
Oh yeah,
and they
yeah.
want to talk to you, and it's all automated. It's just shitty AI. So, um, and the thing at the Sphere with the little characters that I recorded a few years ago, they'll talk to you, they'll pick up your stuff. But again, it's just shitty AI. So getting that transition of actually having some good AI. I mean, I think we still have a lot of shitty AI to go through. We have a lot of AI problems to go through. I haven't even heard about the Walmart dude, you know, on the online with the AI that got $5,000 of merchandise for free because he figured out the loophole in the AI. We haven't even done that yet, so I think
Yeah,
the guy's just pretty young there.
there's a vending machine that went communist and started giving stuff away to
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
We haven't even got there yet, so the
but
night is real young there. Um,
and the development of technology is never it's never that equal across all
no,
applications and outcomes or
no,
whatever. Like CGI in movies. I mean, they put like Jurassic Park dinosaurs. There's CGI today that looks a lot worse than that.
100%.
Decades later. So it's just because someone has access to the tech doesn't mean they know what the fuck they're doing
Well,
with
and,
it.
a really good point. I mean, there's going to be, I don't want to call them foundries because it's a bad word, but there's people that like create it that are going to probably be able to use it sooner. And there's people that are going to have to buy it from those people. And
Yeah, yeah.
the best example we have currently or in the last decade of that, just so you kind of can understand the time frame, is EV. Tesla's idea was, I think 08, 09 or somewhere in there. The first car came out 13, 14, somewhere in there, and GM and Ford and them didn't try it until 23, 24. So it took 10 years for the big boys to even say, all right, there's a market here. And not that AI is the same, but that's how long some of these things take to move. And just be mindful of that. It's not ever going to be tomorrow. There's going to be highs and lows in that market.
Hmm.
So buy the lows. I mean, it's that simple. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I posted a video the other day of Apple has kind of slow played AI and not done it particularly well. But there's a kind of an idea out there that that kind of saves them from the sort of the first bubble pop, and then we kind of figure out, well, what exactly is AI going to be, and some valuations come back to earth or whatever. And it's not the first time Apple was sort of late to something, but yeah, to me it kind of fits into how I look at these big stories. That there's two parts of it. There's the kind of your big dog companies that are going to be around and essential in whatever this is. They're not necessarily early adopters, but it's everything's going to run through them, and it's your Apple, Microsoft, Google, etc. And then you have your speculative trades, these all these side companies and little alphabet soup tickers that that pop up that we that we find, and quantum was the same deal. The quantum baskets where I really kind of learned how to do this with tech stocks, and so I think AI is going to be kind of the same, and some are going to just cycle back around. You're going to see some new names, but definitely a trade I think will be around.
Yeah, it just fits that. What do you want to call it? Um, I'll just say it how I've been saying it. It's just not what you want to trade currently. Um, and that could change like after the first of the year. We've seen that before. So a lot of those,
Yeah, and
a lot of the people that are in those positions, especially the big they're probably up 100%. So it's a 5, 10 year trade, maybe 20-year trade for them. They're up 100%. They're not going to add. They're not going to sell. Makes the sector a little quiet.
mhm. Yep. Wanna? Oh,
I got a couple things if you want to pivot a little
yeah,
bit. So this
yeah.
is kind of for the room, a little ranty, but man, I think it's important, and I'm not picking on anybody. Don't take it that way. You just brought up a point that that kind of grinds my gears. Small account, I fucking hate it, Pete. I don't care if you got $50. It's your account. Small account is a
Yeah.
word from fucking Twitter to get you to follow it to think, hey, we're all in this fucking together. No,
Yeah.
my trading account small as opposed to my regular account. That counts 50K. I'd never call it a small account. you know,
Right.
um, so yeah, stop. It's a bad mindset, and if you don't think you got a lot of money, focus on the percentage. It's just stupid. Um, it's self defeating. It's you're telling me off the start you have a disadvantage, and all of that's not true. You might not be able to do what you want, but you don't have a disadvantage. Focus on the percentage. Green is close all trades green and stack those bricks. And that I mean, if you can't do that with 5, 10, $1,000, you're not doing it with 100K. It ain't gonna work for you. You're gonna either get
Yeah.
lucky or you're gonna get bagged, and that's just the case. So stop with the small account. I don't want to hear it. 2026, you stay small account, I'm gonna light your ass up.
Yeah. Well, because part of the mentality that goes with it when you think of it that way is that I need to get more out of this trade because the account's small, and then you're just going to blow it up and start over if you
Yeah.
you know
Or it didn't.
if you
It doesn't matter that I blew it up because it was small.
or yes, yeah, and a lot of people end up doing that 20 times. I mean, it's not a coincidence. I'll point it out that oh hey, this kid on Twitter hasn't posted in 8 days, and then a typical paycheck date shows up, the 15th or whatever, and oh, here he is again. Because it's like he can reload the account, whatever. And no, I mean, I don't know. If you're gonna be doing that, a casino is probably more fun, than sitting at your phone. If that
Yeah,
if that's
yeah.
the rush you know.
DraftKings.
Yeah, there you go. Right. So yeah, if that's how you want to blow your money, then I think staring it's better than staring at a chart. At least you're watching a football game or something. But no, the I'm with you on that, and I think that focusing on the percentage is really what you have to do, and then
Oh, just start
you
a
know
win streak. Just start a win streak. I mean, that's kind of where
yes,
my head
yeah,
would go if I only had like a grand I was playing with. All right, I'm gonna try to win every trade, whether it's $1.50 or $100. I'm trying to win every one of these trades. How many
yeah,
trades can I win in a row?
yep,
Because if you get to
yeah,
10,
and it's
15, 20, you probably got 300, $400. If you had $1,000, that's 30 or 40%. That's an amazing ratio. I mean, you're going places.
yeah, absolutely. And then you get to a point where you can fund yourself and do something sustainable and kind of go from there.
I got one more of these lines, and then I'll let you go after that wherever you want to go. But you always hear they're in control, they're in control, they're in control. I know that. I'll say it too. But I know what I'm going to do when they're in control. Instead of using it as an excuse why what I want to do doesn't work. So if they're in control and you know they're in control and you know what they're doing and you've seen it for years, why don't you have a plan around that?
Uh, yes, right. And yeah, the manipulation word comes up a lot with that, and it's. I mean, I saw it all week with MSTR and Coin that it rallies overnight up 3% at open. Um, no, it's not going to keep going. It's not going to close up 8% on the day. There's just nothing to. It's stalled. Bitcoin is stalled. The setups have no juice to them. There isn't that volume look there. None of that. They're very much in control. And the only thing that basically like they lose some control with a big volume push, right? A
Yep.
big authentic
Yes.
push of volume, and then they adapt. They have really the bankroll and the muscle to deal with that. But and they'll kind of they'll loosen the reins and fuel to move more too. Then that's what you really want. That's what a lot of these option setups that I see. That's what the boxing glove is. It's that's not the be all end all of that position. They're priming it for a move they think is going to happen, and once that move comes along, that's when the weeklies start to come in. And I only care about weekly options to the extent that it's operating within a previous setup that I saw, rather than, I mean, for a lot of people that's what option flow is. It's like they're just seeing kind of step, not even step two, but three, four, five. Um, and if you don't understand the scaffolding that had already been set up, then you're kind of flying blind, because it's just those are little flashes of activity, but you got to see the bigger picture. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm with you that the manipulation, of course, it's there. They're the ones with all the money, right? That's what they do. And yeah, I mean, to the extent that the market's rigged, like yeah. Now, I will say, if you believe that, or if you realize that, and the market is structured to move up, and it's structured to protect itself at the expense of everyday people. It clearly is structured to do that. If everyday people benefit, whatever, great. They're also exit liquidity. They're also expendable. Um, that the Occupy Wall Street people were all correct, but they should have just bought some QQQ while they're protesting, because it's all built to go up. And that if you know that, I those are the people I don't really understand. The real bearish people looking for a crash that just bang their head against the wall, over and over again, and then you get a good pullback like April, and they didn't do anything with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know, they short the bottom of that, and it's you just see it play out, over and over again. So yeah, so I think you kind of just try to learn how to navigate this, and I think we operate out on the periphery of all this activity that's constantly going. We pick our spots, and just you talk about get the TV out of the window or whatever.
Hmm.
I mean, we just find our spots, and we'll linger and stay in some things for a long time, but it just depends on what it is. So um, so yeah, I'm with you. You got to use it to your favor. Find the manipulation, grab a piece of it.
Yeah. The they're in control, and when it intersects with they care about me or my position is the
Yeah, yeah.
I don't I don't know the word for it, but you're pretty self-absorbed if you really think that. So just something to use to your advantage. I remember the first time, well, not the first time, but the first time I really seen it like the Matrix was those Sophie CEO buys, and it was like 550 something, but you could just see it in the tape. And you could see it in the tape. And I mean, I was watching it every day, like it was Lord of the Rings or something. And I just, you could see it turn off. Like, okay, he's done buying. And it was just eye opening to me to kind of Like, okay, you really can. They're too big of a boat not to see what they're doing. So learn how to move around that, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's I'm. It's tough analogy, but I mean, they're so big that it is hard to stop them from doing anything or be actual part of the fight. But you can swim with them, and that's the better skill than just saying, "Oh, it didn't work for me." They must have been in control because really your positions are irrelevant. I don't care how big of an account you have. To them, you're irrelevant.
Yeah, and it's you just don't we talk about all the time where it's like you don't let a bag turn you into a conspiracy theorist, and
Yeah,
then you're waiting for court rulings, and you're in metamaterials all these years later.
that's
Um,
still a thing.
yeah.
It's crazy. We got any? Let's go boring, or you got anything else? Or
Oh, Japan, real quick.
okay, yeah,
So
let's do that. Yeah, yeah.
the what their decision was expected, that they raised interest rates, and it structurally unwinds the you hear the term the carry trade. And the carry trade is like you borrow Japanese yen and you buy American stocks with it. That's like the simplest explanation, because you get this lower interest rate, and when that goes away, it's theorized that that has potentially catastrophic effects for the market. But because so much of it was expected that they were going to do this, what really mattered was what they said about it, which initially was kind of well received. But I will say that their decision and their market them kind of losing control of their yields and all that, and trying to rein that in, can definitely have some ripples in our market, particularly in a lower volume time of year like this. So I would just I'd be a little careful with that. And I think we could, the 3-2 market, the two could be can get kind of nasty and not really that tradable because it's an overnight thing. So I would just be mindful of that as the market digests what's going on in Japan.
Yeah, I mean, on that side, I've seen the Buffett, him moving stuff. That's kind of
Yeah,
the extent of it. And then my understanding was that they just in general loaned out stuff at basically 0% interest, and that's changing for the first time in a long time.
yeah.
Um, I'm for less money in the system in general. So that, I mean, I don't take it as a negative. And just reading the tea leaves of the current market, anytime we have a bad day, there is no appetite to sell. There's just not. Um, so I'm not too worried about something like that flipping the market. I mean, could you get a temporary pullback? Could we ever touch the 50 again? Sure, but uh, the more we go, we get through this troubling time. We've gotten through a lot of issues, so to speak. Um, the Ukraine stuff, I think, is going to be prevalent again, but in a good way. Um, yeah, I just don't see it affecting us too much currently. It makes news, but um, I just don't think it's going to bring sellers.
No, I mean, I think it will. It's gonna it's gonna weigh Bitcoin down. Is kind of
Sure,
my main thing
sure,
I look at from it,
sure.
just as a risk asset and all that. But yeah, so I'm with you. I think that we can kind of see that turning the oxen around is difficult. And my feeling is, with a lot of the setups I was reading, that we talked about, that they them being in control, that they were pushing for a deeper pullback, and then
Yes,
they didn't get it, and
yes, I
so
agree.
then they have to adjust to that. And I said SaaS was what I pointed out. Could have been many things, but I was just like, software is kind of running out of sellers here, and most of those Snow and all them popped up 4, 5, 7% over the next day or two. So yeah, that's what I look for. I like the pullbacks, the stress tests, all that stuff, and we have so many names that we know so well you find the one around a pivot, you find the one around with a decent low TA setup, and if you want to do something that day, that's where you should be. You shouldn't be trying to scalp 1.5% on Nvidia every day.
No.
So yeah,
Yeah, no, the whole month has not been great for day traders. Decent for swing traders, and long term traders just keep grinding away. So
yep. All right, go a little boring here.
I really just the prequel for you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I do think the well, kind of with the Japan stuff as well. Like the world monetary policy seems to be changing. We used to talk about BRICS. I don't think that's going to come to fruition, but somebody is getting left out right now. It feels like Europe, if you read through the tea leaves, or England in general, the Bank of England in general, getting left out. Um, the moving parts though all seems to be that periodic table, which was the Ukraine deal, who can get their minerals or whatever. That was kind of, a piece of that, or whatnot.
Yeah.
So um, you said it a few, probably 6-8 months ago, get to know the periodic table. Well, I did, and
Yeah.
I think I learned it early enough to probably take advantage of it here going in the next quarter or two, because I think we're going to see some weird ones pop up. Right? Isn't it platinum right now that's in the news
Yeah.
every other
Yeah.
day? I don't think
Yep.
that's going to stop. So, copper 550, do your victory lap, sir.
Yeah, it's gonna be some like molybdenum or yeah, whatever. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm with you. Yeah, yeah, a couple of things on real quick on that. Like, so the U.S. is just it's one of those true memes, but all of a sudden, like they'll be like, oh, U.S. discovers huge reserve of rare minerals in Utah desert. And the thing is, they know that all that stuff's out there. It's just really kind of dirty and nasty to mine that shit. So, and once we have to, we'll do it. But if someone tries to cut off access to us, there's always that threat to them. It's like, well, we can just mine this shit ourselves, and because whatever the U.S. needs, it's going to get. Um, that's why we have that big navy, right?
Yeah.
So it's just it's how it's going to happen, and that kind of news and everything around that is great for moving stocks, and it's great for finding the front loads, and there's a lot of things in metals that are $4 to $8 that are going to be $8 to $12 or 15 or 18 or 22, and
Stocks
so
don't do that, P. Come on, we've never seen stocks do that.
yeah, I definitely look. It's my favorite sector to deal with. So that, and then real quick on BRICS, I think the reason BRICS sort of stalled is number one, Brazil threw their president in jail, and
We became really good friends with India.
and India is the other one.
Yeah.
There you go. India'd rather kind of be with us than break off on their own like that, and then China kind of doesn't need those other countries to do what they do. So whatever. So it's makes for some good little feel good conferences and photo op handshakes and things like that. But it's not like a real challenge to the world order. I don't
So
think.
one parallel between the U.S. and the China: we will not enter an agreement, a deal, or a partnership if we're not at the head of the table.
Yeah. No, I'm right.
We just
Absolutely.
won't. We just won't.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like that. There's the UN, but the UN doesn't really matter. It's the UN Security Council,
Yeah.
of which US and China have permanent seats, and then they rotate somebody else in,
Exactly.
whatever. But yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So copper looks pretty good.
That looks pretty good.
Just yeah. I mean, it probably tests those highs. You can get a consolidation similar to what you saw around $5 happening pretty soon. But yeah, it continues to move up. I think you get a bad day or two, you get some opportunities and some things, but kind of have what I have in some of the copper stuff. But it's the other elements, that will be looking for.
Nice higher low chart there. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and then the range opening up. Good microphone.
Yep. Uh, Silver. I don't know. What can I say? I don't know. I mean,
$100. I'm getting
yeah,
confident and cocky over here now. They're talking
yeah,
225 on the news and shit, bringing up 80s prices.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, what's up? Who said silver $100 at beginning of December? That's right. Second place over here. I was a year late. Don't worry about it, but we're good.
Yeah. No, that's it's just an incredible, incredible move, and it just continues. Decoupling from gold a bit in that silver is accelerating, faster than gold. Gold's just running up against its uh, all time high here, but I certainly wouldn't. I wouldn't mess with trying to short this. I mean, that'd be kind of stupid.
Does gold
But
have a 20% high from here in 2026, in your opinion? 50, 53, 54,
53.
somewhere in there. I'm a yes before you say anything. I'm a yes.
Yeah, I'm a little hesitant on that much,
Okay.
but I can see it. Sure. I mean,
It might be a
it's
wick, right? It might be a wick, a weekend,
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah, it's 5,000 though is gonna happen. I think.
Yeah, so we're close there. Sure.
Yep. Let's see. The oil, just I mean the whatever sentiment or couldn't be worse, I guess, on oil. They keep bringing up it, falling down here and $56 and comparing oil to the price of silver and all those charts are all out of whack. Um, the stocks are fine in terms of their setups, and I think I still just kind of look to that, and oil will probably rally and defend some lows, but again, it's not a 1-to-1 thing where the chart and where it's at.
If you don't,
Probably,
sorry, Pete. If you don't
go ahead.
understand oil, I dropped the Mercedes-Benz food chart for you. It's the same fucking thing. Y'all been to the game in your city. You probably been to the minor league game in your city where the pizza's fucking $7 a slice.
Yeah,
They can do that pizza there and still make money. It's the same with
right.
oil. The price of oil doesn't matter. They'll find a way to make money. They've done it for 100 years. It's so
Yeah,
I don't read into it. And again, I'll repeat what I said last week. It's really bullish for everybody else. It makes everything else cheaper. Um, yeah, that's all I got.
yep. And natural gas, you got your pullback. It's pretty normal.
I missed that.
So
Oops. Oops.
it's gonna set up around here somewhere.
So one thing I miss about
375.
Goose P, man, we don't get them northeastern reports on the weather.
Yeah, yeah, right, right.
I mean, that's where most of the I don't we don't have a ton out here of natural gas usage. I mean, there's some, but it's like
Yeah,
we're mostly electric out here. We don't have heating oil. I don't know how it is where you are, but um, yeah.
that's
So
all gas. Yeah,
is it all natural? Yeah. So it's hard for me to monitor that. I know when I go to like the California trip, like I get surcharge for it depending on where I stay. So
yeah, yeah. So I would just say continue to probably stay away from the leveraged ETFs. Go to the combo
yeah,
stocks, and I think you'll do well here. All right. So
413. What up?
yeah, yeah. So this is the one that you could get kind of a delayed response to Japan and all that. So I think this might surge a bit, but it's just gonna be a lot of long wicks on it. I think. Um, the operation here is to just keep it calm, and I think that they and is gonna probably maintain some control here. So um, yeah, just be mindful of big spikes and what that does to positions that you're trying to do. It's mostly like kind of a day trade check to me, honestly.
Perfect.
Um,
I like that.
and yeah, Bitcoin, stock Bitcoin. All right, so the 85 or 84 uh, tests, or they keep happening. It keeps bouncing off that. So um, still kind of looks like it's gonna break down to me into the 70s somewhere. 75 to 76 is kind of what I'm after, but I just kind of waiting around for that to happen. I'll do a little couple trades here and there, but it's dramatic turnaround. Santa rally is not looking like it's going to happen to me right now.
I used to use the Upstart and the Affirmed for like the market sentiment. Um,
Mhm.
and not that they're relevant here or anything, but you just need that kind of momentum for these Bitcoin tickers to work. At least how I trade
Yeah,
them. And we're pulling back. We're probably in like a I don't want to say 6 months or a year, but we're probably in a pretty large time frame pullback. It's just going to take time, and it's what Bitcoin does. So
yeah,
better fish for me. Follow the story, sure. Data centers, 100%. Just because they'll transition so well to the AI space if Bitcoin doesn't work out. Um, and then the longs on the big names we talked about that kind of already have a system set up, whether it's Bitcoin or the bald eagle, U.S. American dollar, Don Jr. Trump coin.
yeah. I will say so. If you're someone who you bought Bitcoin over $110,000, you bought a sat or whatever they call it, a fraction of a coin, and you're not buying it here. That I don't understand.
No, yeah, what are you doing?
I mean, yeah, because if you bought it at 110, like you clearly believe that it's going to stay around, it's going to go much higher, it's going to go to 150, 200, 300, whatever. But like so you're going to pout now and not buy it. That doesn't make sense to me. If you're someone who just doesn't buy it at all, then I completely understand that perspective too. But yeah, I mean it's I had scaled into it a lot back in the day when we were doing that, and then I'm fully out on a couple of the pullbacks, but I don't know. I've started to think about when would I get back into it.
60s.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
me, it's
I think
still the 60s.
yeah,
And I mean, I guess I'm not using that to get back into Bitcoin. I'm using that to get back into Bitcoin
sure,
charts.
yeah, yeah,
But same thing.
yep. And then my you can look at my little side chart here. I keep these around. I wouldn't touch most of these with a you know
I
10 foot
never have I
pole.
ever asked you like legitimacy in your opinion. If his line kicking in, sorry. On the XRP stuff, is that like there's a lot of substance around XRP that I hear
Yes,
just in the news.
I don't. They're in a separate category to me. They're not an altcoin. So yes, I do. I think there is some substance to it, and I mean you can see that move it had and the pullback. It's a little more. It's further into. It's ahead of Bitcoin in its pullback, right? And so the recovery might be a little better. So if you want to be like a crypto swing trader or something, I think it is one of the places you probably look to because it has a reason to move given its some of its banking applications. So yeah, I do think there's some legitimacy to that.
Well, it sucks, speed, because I trade things I use, and I don't use coins. I use Goodyear tires and Bosch and Lomb contacts. So
Yeah,
darn it.
yeah. But a number of these, I mean, you just sort of look at
That's fucking
they're
gross.
just gone. It's just
Gross.
not.
Gross.
Look at I mean, or even Shiba Inu. Um,
What was the one? The Doge. The Doge. That's yeah,
oh
that
yeah,
was 70 cents at the prime, wasn't it? Yeah, that sounded
yeah, yeah,
horrible, but yeah, it's fucking trash.
yeah. This one's one of the worst. Yeah, yeah. It's
Is
and
LTC
there.
Litecoin? Is LTC Litecoin?
Yes, yeah.
That was
That's
supposed to have a utility back in the day. Yeah, trash.
yeah, that one's pretty bad too. And I mean these, there were countless during that run. Uh, you know, countless YouTube videos and accounts, and these are the top 5 altcoins, and whatever. So this round, meme coins were kind of the thing, and I think pump fun and all that stuff, and sort of the scam of it all was just kind of accelerated in those assets, if you want to call them that. And these were just left for dead, and have never really done much since. So
Hey,
wouldn't look for them.
imagine following a guy that's fucking probably the most bullish person you've ever seen in your life. Like no matter what, just doesn't let up. Bull 100%, but told you that crypto was pet rock.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Oh, anything else, P? Spy a little bit.
um. Oh yeah. Yeah, I got some spy for you.
We woke up with our chart on the same function,
Yeah.
same ticker.
All right. So let's see here. Um. All right. So that 6:45 March, um, still hanging around. You can see by on the low and the high, like you can see it's this $100 range it gets. So they move in and out of it a little based on that, but what kind of matters is the open interest on it, and there's a 640 as well for that expiration. Still doesn't have much of a companion to it, so I'm still kind of looking for that. Some dead open interest going to fall off here as well, and at 525 February, I wouldn't really put much into that. It's probably going to die too.
What up
But
with that? What up with that 700? What timeout?
yeah, no, there's an attempt there. I mean, look, you got 80,000 volume on Friday on that one,
Yeah.
so there's your
And
Santa rally Hail Mary if you want to talk about one.
what does that contract do at 690 next week? Just like let's say Tuesday we're 690. Is that contract 300% or?
Um,
I haven't asked you that forever. My bad.
yeah. All right, so let's just look. So spy. We'll go to 31. All right, so if it's 690,
Like Tuesday, 22nd, 23rd.
300% up.
Yeah, that could be the
Yeah.
play there. I mean I could see that. That's
Yeah.
that's usually what that is the origin or the where the Santa rally comes from is they basically buy just to sell on the other side of January.
Right.
The tax move, and you get a 5 or 10% bump and everything. But if you look back on a weekly, it went up at the end of the year and right back down. The first or second week of the new year, and it's basically a flat move. That they're going to get 300% out of a position they're just
Yeah.
holding, right? So
Right. No, that makes sense. Yeah, absolutely.
you haven't had that, have you? Like at all? The whole time
No.
you haven't had something like that
No, I mean you spotted it. There hasn't been a call on this
at
list
all.
in months. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
and usually the ones on the other side are on their way out. Like
Yeah,
those
those are
ones,
all like those
they're
are all
done.
0 and
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
700, huh? Well, I'm more of definitely stole it from you, but first to the game here, the 3-2 market, and man, we got two weeklies down, so you can kind of see it too since we started getting red candles on the weekly, just higher low pullbacks. 690's been it though. That's why I bring 690 to the table, Pete, because that has been the rejection. So. Um,
Yeah, yeah. No, real quick before we move on, there was a comment you made about this one, and you were kind of like, "Look at that weekly candle."
what are we looking at?
So tell me what you kind of
Oh, the NBIS, the
Yeah.
doji on it. It was, NBIS. Let me pull it. Yeah, it had the high open. I'll pull it up. Let me get my chart up. It had the high. Yeah, my chart's gonna show it a lot better than your chart. Yeah, look
Yeah.
at that thing, P.
Oh yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
high open, I mean, it didn't really do anything on the open of the close. So we opened at 88 and we closed at 88.10. We closed at 89.46.
Right.
Like it's a dollar move on the weekly. If you don't have that doji, it's tight range. But the the whatever the move off of the ER or whatever the pullback, it
Yeah.
hit a level and just shot up. Yeah, I don't know why that moved. But obviously, they came when it hit whatever, probably 80. It was probably 80 what triggered it on their end. They piled in, and you've seen it, and it just became
Yeah,
clear,
and
clear as
my
day.
my note on it was I said I want a DCA to the low 80s, and then I was like at lunch I was like, well, I guess I'm I got it. Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna, it just collapsed. And what I'd planned for basically like a month swing, got everything I wanted, and then a little more down. Bought a little more down there, but really I was that low 80s average is all I cared about, and then to get it that quickly back up, it was just sort of, I'm not surprised, I guess, but it wasn't what I expected for it to happen that fast. But that's kind of how it goes for us
Yeah,
usually. But
for
yeah,
me, like if there's a news or if there's a reason, maybe I will buy a third or a half position. But if it's just this is getting to the point where I need to buy it flows good, for a candle like that for me, since I don't plant flags, I'm just never gonna get a full position in it. And then you get to that, well, now I'm out of my price range and it's probably not coming back. So for me, that candle is one of the hardest to trade. Um, it's not the hardest to get a trade. It's just the hardest to get the full trade as a swing trader. You get those candles on like a news play though, they're better um, because you're anticipating that pullback and you can get a little bit more of a position. But most things are like that we play. P the either you have plenty of time to get a full position or you got a day or two and
yeah.
and it's gonna happen. So um, familiarity is always king for me in those situations.
I don't know if I don't do it right or whatever, but I almost never get a full position in anything.
Oh, I
Um,
do.
I
I do.
I I guess maybe it's just how I define kind of full position.
You didn't
I don't
get
know.
a full position in SGML. You didn't get a full
No.
position in AG. You didn't get a full position in Reddit. No, I'm just saying
Um,
stuff that I did.
yeah, it may be 80-90% of what I consider
I
full.
I got a full position in Alto just because it was a dollar stock, and I mean, it was
Yeah.
the plan was that, right? I mean, I guess,
Right,
I
right.
guess when you say I'm only gonna put $1,200 into this, it changes the game a little bit in that regard. So yeah, I guess.
Well, I
Ooh,
suppose
let
the
me
so
let me
the
let me say it this way to you real
park and
quick.
wait thing,
Yeah.
it's like, so if it's a park and wait, it's like, here I'm going to buy this, and that's all I'm going to buy. So I guess that's the full position there. But when I'm actively scaling into something, I usually don't hit exactly the number I planned on, because I start to slow down the ads, and then it takes off, and I'm like, okay, well, oh well.
So
And
I don't. It's not all or nothing for me. This really helps. And what I mean by that, that's probably a bad way to say it. What I mean by that is, so if I'm scaling in and I get a 10% pop, I'm taking some off. I'm just still not in scaling in mode, right? Because I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
re-add. So understanding like I'm never gonna buy above here. I want to buy here, so I'm gonna have to sell in this channel. I think that helps a little bit because the days when I was just I'm in buy mode, I'm in buy mode. Well, I'm up 10%. I don't want to buy. All right. Well, I lost that 10%. I'm back down in where I would have bought, but I didn't sell any. Should I buy some more? It kind of makes you hesitant. Instead of, I just sold, let's say, 100 shares for 10%. I'm gonna buy those again. Maybe I'll make that trade again. That's a two
yeah.
trade behind that, so to speak. So, um, yeah, yeah. You should just be mindful of it and expect not to get in full positions and expect not to get full moves and expect to close your trades green and expect to make fucking money. I mean,
Right.
I think that's a better way to look at it.
Yep.
Anything else, P?
Nope, no, that's it. So we'll go to the next session.
Perfect. All right, like and subscribe, people. Link somewhere.